Hello everyone, welcome to RCB channel. Today we're having a tutorial walkthrough for Haikyu BABOKA Break. So without further ado, let us get started. So on this end, I'll be using the second trial deck featuring the Nekoma team.
And I've been using the first trial deck featuring the Karasuno team.
So to get started, first, like with any volleyball game, we need to decide who starts serving first. So to decide that, we'll be playing rock, paper, scissors.
Alright.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. So as I won the rock, paper, scissors, I'll choose whether I would start the serve or not. I'll choose to serve. So after that, to get started, you will shuffle up your deck of cards and then draw 6 cards. So once you have your 6 cards, you may choose any number of cards from among the 6 to return it to the deck, shuffle it to draw a new set of cards so that you have 6 cards once again.
I will choose 3.
So in this case, I will return 3 as well. So once you have your 6 cards and both players have their hands of 6, you take the next 2 cards of the deck and set it into the set area. These set cards will indicate how many sets you have lost, and once you have lost 3 sets of this game, you will lose the game and your opponent will win the match. Without further ado, let us begin. Alright. With the hand and the set area all set up, we'll begin the game right now. So, as the player who is serving, after winning the rock, paper, scissors, we'll be using this volleyball token to indicate the turns.
Alright.
So you'll begin from my serve phase, where I will choose a character from my hand to serve the ball. So in this case, I will choose Taketora Yamamoto. So whenever you play a character, each character has 5 different parameters located on the card. So each of the values correspond to how powerful they are at each of the areas that they are assigned to. So in this case, I'm using Taketora as a serve. So we'll be looking at the top left icon, which is the serve power that Taketora has. He has a serve of 5, so he will serve the ball to the opponent's side of the field with an offensive power of 5.
Alright, so now that my opponent has served the ball, I will proceed to the draw phase since I cannot block or serve. So I'll proceed to the draw phase. So I'll draw a card, and now I'll play cards in my zones, which are in the bottom area. So it will be a receive, a toss, and then an attack, which is the progress of how the receive will go. So when I play cards during my turn, I cannot play any of the same cards, any cards that have the same name in them, as the player cannot be receiving and tossing at the same time, or tossing and attacking at the same time, in that example. So I will receive this ball with Daichi Sawamura. Alright, so now since my opponent is serving with an offense value of 5, and my receive value is 5, I have successfully received the ball. So now I'll proceed on to toss. So I will toss with Koshi Sugawara, who has a toss value of 2. And I'll proceed on to the attack, where I will attack with Ryunosuke Tanaka, who has an attack value of 3. So I will send this ball over to my opponent by adding my toss and attack values in the toss and attack positions respectively, which is 2 and 3. So I'll send it over with an offense value of 5 to my opponent.
Right. So it's my turn. As it's not a serve, I may choose to either block it or just like what my opponent did to receive, toss and attack the ball back. In this case, as I do not have a character with 5 receive in hand, instead I'll choose to block the attack. So during the block phase, you can declare up to 3 characters, and the first character you declare will be in the middle as the main blocker. So I'll declare Inuokaso as the main blocker, and I'll declare a left high bar as a side blocker. So when blocking, the block value located under the serve will be used to determine whether the block is successful or not. As the opponent has an offensive power of 5 and I have a total block value of 5, the block will be successful. And with the successful block, the ball will be returned to the opponent. So for blocks, the offensive power of the returning ball is treated as 0.
Alright, so now since my opponent has blocked the ball, I cannot choose to block the ball. So I'll proceed on to draw. And then I will receive with Asahi Azumane, which has a receive value of 4. Right, so now I successfully received the offense of 0 ball. I'll move on to the toss, where I will toss with Koshi Sugawara, which has a toss value of 2. And I'll move on to my attack, where I will attack with Chikara Enoshita, which has an attack value of 3. And I will also proceed to play an event card. So event cards are cards that can play in specific timings. So for my event card, it can be played during the attack timing. So when I play an attack character, I can play this event card. So this event card allows me to draw 1 and choose one of my Karasuno characters and give them +1 to their attack. So I'll choose Chikara Enoshita to gain 1 in this attack. So my total offense value for this ball that I'm sending back to my opponent will be 2 plus 3 plus 1 from the event. So this will be 6.
Right. I will not attempt to block it, so I'll move on to the draw phase. I will place down Fukunaga as the receive character, and I have no event cards to play, and so as Fukunaga only has a receive of 4, the ball is not successfully received and I would lose the set as the ball remains in my court. So when the set is over, the game goes to an interim period where both players will draw cards until they have 6 cards in hand once more. Afterwards, the player who has lost the set will take a card from their set area and add it to their hand, and then the other player will start a new round with them serving.
Alright, so since I'm the one who is serving now, I'll choose to serve with Daichi Sawamura, which has a serve value of 3.
Right. As it is serve, I cannot block it, so I'll move on to the draw phase. Next, I'll play my event card. This one has the condition of it being the draw phase. Its ability allows me to draw a card, and then I may look at the top 3 cards of my deck. I may add either an Inukaso or a Haiba left from among the 3 to my hand. I'll add a Soul to my hand and put the remaining to the bottom. And now I'll place the Inuka that I just added from the event as the receiver. With a receive of 3, the receive will be successful, so I'll move on to the toss, where I will toss with Kenma Kozume with a toss of 1. And then for the attacker, I will attack with left high bar with an attack of 3. So this will return the ball with a power of 4.
Alright, so I'll choose not to block it. So first I'll go to the draw phase where I'll draw. And I'll play Tadashi Yamaguchi as my receiver, which has a receive value of 3. And then I'll play my event card, which will give him 1, which I will draw a card first. And I'll give him 1 to his receive value. If the receive value total is still 4 or less, he gains 1 more receive value. So Tadashi Yamaguchi receives the ball with 5 receive, which is greater than my opponent's 4. So I'll move on to the toss, where I will toss with Tobio Kageyama. Tobio Kageyama has an ability where when he's placed in the toss area, I can pay 2 cards. So guards are cards that are played in previous turns. So currently I've played two Koshi Sugaura, who have on this turn both become guards. Guards are used to pay for effects and abilities. So Tobio Kageyama pays 2 guards to increase his toss value by 2. So now he will toss over with 3 toss to the attack, and I will play Shoyo Hinata in the attack. Shoyo Hinata also has a similar ability to Tobio Kageyama, where I will pay 2 guards to increase his attack value by 2. So this is 3 plus 4, which is a 7. And then I'll play the event card, which will allow me to draw a card first and increase the attack value of this by 1. So this is at 8. And there's also a unique effect. If I have Tobio Kageyama in the toss section, and in the toss area, and Shoyo Hinata in the attack area, my opponent, if they choose to block, they can only block with 2 cards. Yes.
Yep.
And I will play another event card to increase the attack of this by 1 more. So I will draw 1 and increase the attack value by 1 more. So this is 3 plus 4 plus 2, which is 9. So I'll send the ball back to my opponent with an offense value of 9.
Alright, it's my turn. As the ball is too powerful at a value of 9, I will choose to simply concede the set. During your turn, you may choose to concede the set, which will cause the game to go into the interim once more, where both players will draw back up to 6, and the losing player will add a card from their set area into their hand. As I already have 6 cards in my hand, I will simply add the card from the set area into my hand.
Alright, I will proceed to draw back up to 6.
Right. As I have lost the set, the opposing team will be serving the ball.
Alright, so now I will choose to serve with Chikara and Oshita. With a serve value of 2, I'll send the ball to my opponent's court with an offense value of 2.
Right. Right, as it is a serve, I'll be moving to the draw phase. I'll receive with Yuki Shibayama. He has an ability that activates when he enters the receive area. Similar to Kageyama, he can pay 2 guards, but in this case, after paying 2 guards, I will draw a card. As 5 receive is sufficient, we'll move on to the toss, where I will toss with Fukunaga. And for the attack, I will attack with Inuagaso. So this is add offensive power of 4 back to the opponent.
Alright. I will choose to block. So I will play Case Kishima in the block area with a block value of 3. And I will assign a side blocker, Ryunosuke Tanaka, with a block value of 2. So this is a total block value of 5. Right? So I will have successfully blocked the ball.
Yep. And at the end of their turn, side blockers will go into the drop zone, as they will not contribute to guards in the block area. Right, as it was a block, I'll move on to my draw phase. I'll choose to block with Taketora with a receive of 2. I'll choose to receive with Taketora with a receive of 2.
Yep.
So this will move the ball to the toss area, and I'll toss with Kenma Kozume. Kozume has the ability when he enters the toss area to pay 2 guards to give him an increase of 1 in his toss value, and during my opponent's next turn, the character that enters their attack area will have their attack value reduced by 2. And finally, for the attacker, you'll be left high bar with an attack of 3. So this is a total offense of 5.
Alright, I will not choose to block, so I'll move on to the draw phase. And at this point, since I have nothing in my hand that can receive a ball with an offense power of 5, I'll choose to concede the set.
Right. So once more, we'll move to the interim where we'll draw back up to 6 cards.
And since I lost the set, I will take a card from my set area and add it to my hand.
And then I will be serving the ball. Right. I will serve with Inuakaso with a serve of 2.
Alright, so since my opponent served the ball, I'll proceed to draw phase, where I will receive the serve of 2 with Asahi Azumane, which has a receive value of 4. So I'll move on to the toss, where I'll play Koshi Sugawara with a toss value of 2. Now move over to the attack, where I'll attack with Ryunosuke Tanaka with an attack value of 3. So I'll send the ball over to my opponent with an attack value of 5.
Right. I'll choose not to block it. So I'll move on to my draw phase. Next, I will use Shibayama as my receiver. Just like before, I may pay 2 guts to draw a card. Next, I'll play an event card. This allows me to draw a new card and increase Shibayama's receive by 1. I'll choose to toss with Morisuke with a toss value of 0. And then for my attacker, I'll play Tetsuo Kuro with an attack value of 2. So this will send the ball back with an offensive of 2.
Right, so I'll choose not to block, so I'll proceed to draw. Now I'll play Yu Nishinoya as my receiver. Yu Nishinoya has this ability. When he enters the receive area, I can pay 3 cards and draw 1. And I will increase his receive value by 2. So he'll receive this with 7. So I'll move on to my toss, where I'll toss with Tobio Kageyama. Tobio will pay 2 guts to increase his toss by 2. So I'll move on to the attack, where I will attack with Shoyo Hinata, where I will pay 2 guts and increase his attack by 2. So I will send the ball back to my opponent with an offense value of 7.
Alright, I'll move on to my draw. So I'll draw a card. Next, I'll play an event card. During the draw phase, to draw a card, and then to look at the top 3 cards of my deck for either left Haiba or So Inoka. I did not find any, I'll be putting all 3 to the bottom. And to receive, I'll receive with Nobuyuki Kai. As 5 is not sufficient, during my receive phase, I'll be playing the event card to increase his receive by 1. And then I'll play another copy of the same event card. So his receive is now 7. With the successful receive, we'll move on to the toss. And I'll play Kenma Kozume as the tosser. Just like before, I'll pay 2 guts to increase his toss by 1 and to reduce the attack value of my opponent's character that appears in the attack area by 2 during their next turn. And for per attacker, I'll play Fukunaga with a value of 3 to send the ball back with a value of 5.
Alright, so now I will choose to receive. So I'll move on to the draw phase. I'll draw 1. And then I'll play Tadashi Yamaguchi in my receive area, who has a receive value of 3. Then I'll play the event card, which will increase his I'll play the event card that allows me to draw 1. Then I'll increase his receive value by 1. If it's 4 or lesser, I'll increase his receive value by 1 more. So now he has a receive value of 5. I'll move to the toss, where I'll toss with Ryunosuke Tanaka, who has a toss value of 1. Now move the toss over to the attack, and then I'll attack with Asahi Azumane, which has an attack value of 3. However, since my opponent played Kenma, which will receive his attack value by 2, so this is a total offense of 2 to my opponent.
Right. As the ball has an offense value of 2, I'll choose to block. I'll declare Tetsuo Kuro as my main blocker. When he enters the block area, I may pay 1 guts to activate his ability. At the end of this turn, if I successfully block, the offensive power of the ball will become 5, thanks to the keyword door shut 5. So I'll block with Kuro. As 3 is sufficient to block the ball, I'll return the ball to the opponent, and thanks to the keyword, the offensive power will be treated as 5.
Right, so since my opponent blocked, I cannot choose to block, so I will draw a card. And I'll play Daichi Sawamura in my receive area with a receive value of 5. I'll play the event card to draw 1 and increase his receive value by 1. Since I've successfully received the door shut 5 ball, I will move over to the toss, where I will toss with Tobio Kageyama. I will use his ability to pay 2 guards and increase his toss value by 2, so his toss value is now 3. Then I'll move over to the attack, where I'll attack with Kei Tsukishima with an attack value of 2. So I'll send the ball to my opponent's court with an attack value of 5.
Alright. I only have 1 card in hand, but I will move on to the draw phase. And then I will place left highbar as the receiver. However, he does not have sufficient receive value, and so I have lost the set. And as I have lost the set with no cards in my set area, the game will be over with the loss to the Nekoma team. That is all for the walkthrough for Haikyu BABOKA break gameplay. Thank you.
Thank you.